What it do, what it do, what it do, what it does. This is your boy, Kaysha, and this is Club Shada with me, Mr. Shada. And we're here chilling with you, my good friends. I'm gonna let you all arrive. And so I have the pleasure to spend my, fourth or fifth night with you guys. I don't even know. It's the quarantine. Like quarantine, I don't know what day it is. I don't know what time it is. I don't even know how long I've been in my house. But as we always say, you have to make the best out of it. Tonight I have a special guest in the building. It is one of my dearest friends. I actually call her. She's one of my best friends. She lives in the New York, New Jersey area. Let me not say something stupid. She does a bunch of things, and among those things, she's a DJ. She's a creator. She works for the city of Newark, if I'm not mistaken. She will correct me. And without further ado, let's say hi to Marcy Depina.
Hey, what's up? How are
my
you?
sister? What up, my sister? So, look, you do so many things that your pedigree is serious. Like you're a DJ.
Yes.
You work for you make podcasts.
Yes, I work for iHeart. Mm-hmm.
You work for the city of Newark.
Correct.
You're my best friend.
Correct.
You also promoted some of my shows.
Yes, I have.
You were at my wedding.
Yes.
What else do you do? What else do you do? You're working
geez.
mom.
Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of energy.
Like, yeah, I know that. We met in 2012?
No.
Before.
Way before that. It was like...
we met at SOBs in New York.
It had to have been around 2005 or 6. Yeah, because my son was just a little baby.
And he's like 18 now.
Yeah, he's going to be 18 in December.
And so when we talk about friendship, like she actually helped me. She went with me to Diamond Street in New York, and she helped me choose my engagement ring. That's that level. You have to understand. Yes. There's levels to these things, right?
Yeah, there are definitely levels. That was such a privilege and an honor to be able to do with you, because it was such an incredible, major, pivotal moment in your life. And to be able to be there was incredible. And like, amazingly, I happen to have the same ring size as your wife. So
crazy. Yeah, I got married since then.
Yes. So, it's one of those things that I don't think we ever thought Kaysha was going to get married.
Come on. Come on. Like, listen, like,
did you think you were going to get married?
Eventually. DJ Gellas in the house.
What up, Gellas?
What up, Gellas? I hope you're fine and you're staying in your house, that you're not flying every day like you usually do.
Yeah, he's on the front lines there.
Yeah. So the thing is this, like, you knew me early. So of course, I mean, but you also knew me not engaged, but like you knew me engaged, you know me married, but you also knew me in the middle when I was dating the same person for years and years.
Yeah.
because I would complain to you all the time. So, you
Yeah.
know,
Well, I've witnessed your evolution just like you've witnessed mine. And,
yeah,
I saw single Kaysha. I saw Kaysha in relationships.
yeah,
I saw Kaysha in between relationships.
yeah.
And then I saw Kaysha completely transform into a husband.
I guess.
You were always a dad. Ever since I've known you, you've always been a father.
Yeah,
So, when
yeah, that's
Nashia
true.
came along, that was not new for me.
Yeah, true.
Um, and I've always known you to be a very solid partner. Every relationship that I've seen you in, yeah, you have your Mr. Shada personality. You're a performer. Women love you. But
They
one thing
do
that I
a
always,
little.
yeah, they do. Yeah, just a little,
Yeah,
just a little,
yeah.
just a little, just a little bit. But one thing I always really appreciated about you from, being a woman and being a woman that works in the industry that we work in, you've always been a man of integrity. So,
True.
while you were in relationships that you weren't married, but you were in a committed relationship, and while you could have just as easily been off doing whatever you wanted, whenever you wanted, on tour, here, there, as women were throwing themselves at you, I never saw
Sometimes.
you do that. But I always saw you stand in your integrity and be a man of your word and be committed. So I knew from that, I knew that the day that you met the right person, that you would be an excellent husband and that you would make that commitment, because I already saw that quality in you throughout all of the years of knowing you.
Wow. I don't know what to say other than thank you.
It's the truth.
Yeah. I guess. I guess it is. Yeah, and I think you've what, look at Gela saying women crying in Amsterdam over his behind.
Listen. Yeah.
I don't know what he's talking about. I was not there.
I personally witnessed it. New York shows where I'm acting as your camera woman. And you try to bring the distractions by bringing me on stage and saying, "Men, she's single."
That was in Prana Lounge.
Yep.
I loved that show. That was such
show.
a great show. Like we had fun that night. And there was another one, the one I did with Mark G. Do you remember that one? Mark G had a guitar, and you were filming from upstairs. I think it was your birthday or something.
That was my birthday. Yep, that was my birthday. Remember my dress broke? Do you remember that?
Yeah, the blue one.
No, it was white. My dress was white.
That's the next day, that when we were with Lisa.
Yeah, exactly.
Gelas is saying I was there, I saw it.
Exactly. That day that we went out with Lisa, when I had the blue dress on, we went to go see Ill Spoken's open mic night. That's the longest running hip hop open mic night. It still happens, actually. I just went to like the 20-year anniversary of that.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
That's crazy.
He now lives in the island of Grenada. So he travels back and forth between New York and here. Freestyle Mondays, that's what it's called.
Yeah, Freestyle Mondays. Gelas is saying that it was at Prana 2 the second time.
Okay, that makes sense.
But was it with Dominique the 2 times?
It was with Dominique one time, and then I think the other time was with Denny Hosha.
I don't remember.
Was it? Or no, maybe it was Dominique. Dominique from Guadeloupe.
Yeah. Was it the time that we went to, after that we did a show with you in New Jersey? Or that was before? I'm starting to lose all the dates.
I know, it's crazy. So the show that we did, this I know for a fact, the show that we did in New Jersey, the first show that you and I ever did together was Lover's Lounge. It was a movement event. Gellis was there. Larry Love was there. Mark G was there. DJ Lefty was there. Shokanti was there. Chachi was there. I mean, it was like a all-star crew. And
yeah, I remember that photo.
Yeah, that was in New Jersey. That was in Newark. And I think that was either 2006 or 2007.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think my first show in the U.S. was at Matrix. I'm not sure.
In Boston?
No. Gelas, when was my first show ever in the U.S. I think it was in Rhode Island. I'm not sure.
Okay,
I
that
still have the
makes sense.
photos, but I think it's 2004, I think, probably.
So let me ask you, how many shows have you done? Can you take a guess, or do you have an idea of how many shows you've done in your career?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I know that I would do. At a point, there was a point I would do 8 per month.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah, club therapy, exactly.
Therapy. Yes. Was that with
cool.
Cachapinha?
We have Gillis. No. I don't know.
Oh, it was with Lights Out, Gallus or Cachapinha?
Yeah, club therapy. That was crazy. That was crazy. In Providence, exactly. That was the first show. That was in
Providence.
Therapy club in Providence in 2003.
Dang. Time flies when you're having fun.
Oh, that's true. I had a show in Atlanta first at Queens with
wow.
DJ Fly. That was part of my first tour or ever in the US, and I remember that my ex that tried to run me over with her car just came to Tiger.
Oh, the craziness.
True, I had the CNN interview that year too. Therapy was with Jam Baby Production.
Oh yeah, Jam Baby. Okay.
Is that what's her name? Wow. Oh, Jose Goncalves in my hood.
Hey, Jose. Epa, Jose.
Hey. Wow.
Jose Gonzalez. We're probably related. What island are you from? Because that's one of my last names.
Oh, now we're starting.
You know how Cape Verdeans are. We're all somehow connected. It's really scary when you meet like a Cape Verdean and you're interested in dating them. You have to really go through a series of questions. Yeah. It's happened to me before.
Do you know that? Do you know that? It actually happened to me with like like I even wrote the song Motema thinking about her.
Oh wow.
Like I used to see her like all the time in Champs-Élysées, and she was always looking at me. I was looking at her, but I was never talking to her. And one day, and I was always like, yo, this is like, she's the one. Yeah, she's. And then one day, my dad tells me, oh yeah, you have to go meet your cousin.
There's a saying for that. We have a saying for that in no stude. Gillis knows what I'm talking about. Cape Verdeans, it's not completely crazy to think that people do marry their cousins.
It's possible.
And the smaller islands,
especially. Brava.
Yeah, we're probably cousins. Mia de Brava também.
Oh my God.
Brava e Fogo.
Oh my God, that's where the craziness come from. No, that was Simone. Okay, Jam Baby Production.
Oh, Simone. Oh, yeah. Wow. I haven't heard her name in a while.
Yeah,
we've been working together
I haven't talked to her for some time now.
Yeah, because she was working with, what's his name from Quattro?
With Dreadlocks.
Yeah, I did a show with him not that well. I mean, it was now a few years ago at SOBs. Nilton Romalo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kaysha, we've been working for a long time. Like, we met at SOBs, and the amount of shows that I did at SOBs, I mean, up till now, I still do shows at SOBs. I just did Fejo Gaita there last year.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, which was a great show. But that's where you and I met. And it's funny because you were not, it was a hip hop night. You remember that? It was a hip hop night. It was Hot 97, Hot 97, Who's Next series.
With Papa Jube.
And D Lopes was there performing because he was like at the height of his career. He had been on BET and won a battle on BET. So it was a hip hop night. And he was there with Laura Fernandez and Pam. And I think they're the ones who introduced us, or we just started talking. I don't know. But
I know it was for an interview.
Well, then I was like, I need to interview you. So then you and I met after that. I met you someplace and we went and had sushi, I think. Yeah,
Virgin Mega Store.
Back when there were actually record stores.
Yeah, we met. We had the interview in the lounge of the Virgin Mega Store in Times Square, and then we went for sushi. I was like, let's go to Sushi Samba. I was like, what?
Yes. Sushi Samba, that's closed now. Yeah, and I remember I still have it. I got to find it. I wish I had it actually for this interview so I could show people, but I still have my notes from when I interviewed you, and you drew me a diagram of how you came up with the name Sushi Raw, because I was like, where does this come from? And you made a diagram of how sushi is raw and how the music, you put musical notes, comes straight from your heart. So that's why you call it Sushi Raw. And it was like this cute little diagram. And I was like, oh. But I immediately felt like a kinship with you. And then, we found out we're like from the same year.
Yeah.
So many of our things in our life have been parallels. Our relationships, our children are the same age.
Yeah.
They're like 3 weeks apart or something like that.
Yeah, that's how friendship is made.
Yeah. And it's been friendship ever since. And, I've had the great pleasure of working with you.
Yeah.
Interviewing you.
Without fighting.
Without fighting. Yes, exactly. Crying with you on the phone.
Listening to the heartbreaks from both sides, the crazy psychos.
And the joys too, because I definitely cried when your daughter was born, and what an emotional, beautiful moment that I was fortunate enough to share with you. But the crazies,
Gela is saying, as primas são as cordas mais doces do violão. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Gallus. No stud, okay?
We got Icarga Entertainment in the house.
Emoji.
Ricardo, hey. What up?
You guys have been putting out such dope music.
Yeah, they are. But they don't want to, he doesn't want to let me do featuring with his artists.
What?
No, I'm joking.
I was like, wait a minute.
I'm going to the studio. I'm going to do after the confinement. We got Eve Matuba in the house. Yay. What up? Welcome. We got Elcio Rodriguez in the house. To the bang.
Elcio.
Yay. And we also actually evolved together in parallel as business persons.
Absolutely.
I think we were already independent, more or less, when we met. But then I was inside of at that time, I probably was working with the Section Zouk Empire. And then I was making my empire inside of that empire. And then I just overthrown them and kept writing. So that was cool.
And here you are.
And here we are. So I wanted to talk to you. Like, we had a conversation yesterday, but I was like, you know what, like, let's stop talking and talk about those things, and invite you to the show. Like, I know you've been doing podcasts. Yeah. How many podcasts are you working on?
Wow. I'm currently producing 4 podcasts for iHeart. Wow. There 2 of them are food related podcasts. They're both 2 chefs. One that owns a really high end restaurant. Her name is Angie Marr. She owns a really high restaurant in New York City called the Veerzuz Inn, which is a former speakeasy. It's sort of like this institution. It's a really cool place. But it's, when I say high end, I mean she does this. She's into meats. You would actually love her place.
Ooh.
She's really into meats, and she does she does this whole like dry aged meats. Like she does one with lavender. It's like, I forget how many days. It's like 60 days or 90 days dry aged, and it's like $1,000 for a steak. It's insane. Dang. But her food is really good. So I have one show with her. She's also like a fashionista. She has a lot of celebrity friends and a lot of friends who are in the fashion world. And she kind of approaches her menu design from a perspective that's more related to how a fashion designer would approach a collection per season. Then the other show I'm working on is with another chef. her name is Esther Choi, and she's Korean American. And she owns 3 restaurants in New York City. One is called, well, 2 are called Mukbar. One is in Chelsea Market, and the other one is in Brooklyn, right across from the Barclays Center. And her 3rd restaurant, which is also kind of a cocktail lounge, is called Miss You, and that's in the Lower East Side. And Esther's show is really interesting because it's about Korean culture. So through the lens of food, because she is a chef, but she talks with people from all different facets of Korean culture, such as like K-beauty and entrepreneurship and things like K-pop and all of the, interesting components of Korean culture, things like plastic surgery and all this other very interesting stuff that Koreans do. Then I have another show that's a travel show, which is actually now on hiatus, and the timing couldn't be better on that one because nobody's traveling right now. That is called, the website is called Fathom Away, and the show is called A Way to Go. And it's basically, the website is about how you travel. So for example, if you wanted to go to Malaysia, you could find out information about where to go, where to eat, where to stay, et cetera, on their website. And the show is about the reasons why people travel. So things such as, there was one guy who, he's a Hollywood reporter, and he was on a deadline and he couldn't get away from his social media and all the distractions. So he put himself on a container ship from Long Beach, California to Shanghai. Wow. And he did that to, get through his deadline. So things of that nature. And then the other show, the last show that I'm working on, is called The Select Sessions. And that's a lifestyle website called The Select 7, where they take one subject in each day of the week for 7 days. They look at a different part of who they are. So one day is about their inspiration. The other day is the products that they use. The other day is like the things they're charitable about, what they're charitable about. The other one might be like where they travel or favorite travel places. And so that's sort of bringing that concept to life. So a lot of celebrities that have been on their spotlight, on their roster of people that they've spotlighted, have been on the show. So yeah, it's been really busy. That's one of the things that I do. My Forza radio show is on its third year now. We're going into our 3rd year, and it's 2nd year. And we've done 96 episodes, of which you have been one of them.
Damn.
Yeah, 96 episodes. Now I'm doing it from my bedroom because this radio station's closed. So like everybody else, I'm working from home.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been really a blessing to be able to create content for people and to evolve my own creativity from being somebody who is interviewing people and presenting subjects, presenting people, to actually be producing the content. It was like a bit of a switch for me because I'm so used to being the person with the microphone doing the interviews.
Yeah.
But the good thing about that is that I obviously have a lot of experience in interviewing people, and it's been a great skill to bring to the production table because I can help our hosts to give really good interviews and give them little pointers on things like that. So so that has been great, really great.
Big up to Stefan V in the house and to Nielsen.
Hey.
So, and at the same time, you also work.
Yeah.
For the city of Newark. So, where you find the time to do all of this, because, producing 4 podcasts, 1 TV show, plus working for the city, the Council of Arts, right?
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Plus traveling once a month.
Right.
To destinations.
Yes.
How?
I don't know the answer to that question. I really don't. I don't sleep a lot. You and I probably have that in common.
Yeah.
I can go to sleep.
I
went even last night. I went to bed at 3:30, and I was up at 7:30. I'm not I have a lot of energy. Thank God. I think that's a blessing. I think I get that from my mom. I'm also an extremely curious person. I have this sort of fire that is inside of me that always has me curious about what's going on and what I can do. And it's very present in my mind. And I think it always has been that our time here in this particular body on this planet is really limited. if you think about one person's lifetime, it is a millisecond in the grand scheme of things. And I think because I always know that, I'm trying to do as much as I can without obviously like killing myself. So I don't know the answer of how I do it. I just know that I do it, and I have like a will. Like if I want to do something, I make it happen. The work that I do with the city of Newark, running Newark Riverfront Park, I'm the executive director of the organization that programs the park. A lot of that is like kind of a labor of love. It was a position that I took because I wanted to make a contribution to the city that I lived in. And basically what I do there is I create programs that are public, that are free, that are primarily arts related, but also some things around education and definitely things that help get people on the water, on the river, the Passaic River in Newark. So kayaking and boat tours and things of that nature. And that's really intense in the summer because in the summer we do 100 days of programs. When I'm not doing that, I'm raising money for the organization. So the off season is all about raising. Yeah. So I have to raise at least like $250,000 every year. So it's interesting.
And she still find time to speak with me at least 3 hours per week. Like,
that's how I can keep it going is by like actually having fun stuff. But I'm a workaholic, Kaysha. You know that.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry. I know. And like, I'm like speaking to myself. Like a lot of people don't understand. Like, oh, we got JD Love in the house.
Hey, what up, JD?
It says Yoke. Hi, Marcy.
Hey.
What up, bro? Have fun mixing your new single. Enjoy the suffering. Yeah. So, the times are like not only for this generation, but even like since actually 100 years. Like what's happening right now has been never seen. Do you think that the world will return to what it was before because humans love to forget fast? Or do you think that, like how a lot of utopists are seeing it, that it's going to be a new world where, people are going to change, they're going to be more ecologists, they're going to, like, what do you think?
I don't think that it's going to go back to the way that it was, and I hope it doesn't go back to the way that it was because we had got to a point where there was so much excess in our lives, and in so many ways, humans have become disconnected from the very things that make us human, like spending time with your family, being in touch with the earth, things that really make us human. I think we had become completely disconnected from that. And I think what's happening right now, we're starting to really see the overarching systems around the world and the way that they operate. So, for example, corporations that privilege profits over human beings, over human life. That's not a way to live. People who are willing to sacrifice our earth. The very
and they
organism.
Don't care. They're like, I won't be there in 100
don't
years.
Care.
Let me just make that money.
It's
let
crazy.
Me just mine.
It's crazy to me. It's crazy when you think about it. Like yesterday I had Jennifer Spain, who my friend Jen. She's an environmental scientist and she was a guest on my show yesterday. She specializes in urban farming and issues around urban agriculture and food security. And she said something to me that like blew my mind. And I was like, what is wrong with us as humans? Do you know that if you buy a tomato, right, and it's a GMO, a genetically modified tomato, you could take that tomato home and you could eat it and take the seeds out and try to plant the seeds, right, and grow a tomato plant, right? That's how you grow a plant. You take the seeds from the fruit and then you grow a plant.
Exactly.
Because it's genetically modified, it will produce the flower, so you'll get the leaves, but it will not produce the fruit, which is the actual tomato. So genetically modified seeds, right, exactly, do not have the ability to reproduce themselves. So much like, let's just take the example of... It's insane. So
we're going to... you remember that movie? Was it Sons of Men? Where, like, there's no more kids no more babies.
You have to grow them in test tubes.
No more babies being born. And there's one woman that had a baby and everybody's running after her because that's the first baby in like hundreds of years. and it created chaos in the world. That's crazy.
It's nuts. It's crazy. And when you think about stuff like that, it really makes you question, like, where are we going as humanity? Where are we going? I think what's interesting about this moment is that it's almost like a reset button. You know, the whole world is like stopped, right? It's a moment. It's a moment of pause. What we create from this moment is entirely up to us. It really truly is. You can either see it as a crisis or you can see it as an opportunity. And I believe it's an opportunity. And I think that we, the people, have, regardless of whatever systems are at work and whatever you believe, we, the people, have the choice to recreate the world that we want it to be. Or we can continue, as you said, with the bullshit.
It's just the thing,
Excuse my French.
It's okay. You can swear all you want here. Robin is in the house. When I try to sleep early, Kaysha makes a laugh. Sorry.
Hi, Robin.
Malcolm Beats is in the house.
What up, Malcolm? What up?
I got a new single coming out with Malcolm Beats that I just finished the mix now with. I've just had I'm having three duets in a row with amazing ladies. So I had that song that came out Friday with a woman from Madrid called Shelim, and so this came out. It's having a lot of success. It's reggaeton. It's with it was produced by Makita. In a few days, actually tomorrow, I have a song that is actually it seems like the culmination of a long time of you, because you introduced me to her. I have finally a song with Lisa Lopez coming out tomorrow, produced by me and Mika Mendes.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it just
sounds hot.
And then
I can't wait.
And then the week after, I have a song with a brand new artist from Guyane, from South America, and she's called Pearl, and this is produced by Malcolm. Actually, he produced it live on his YouTube channel, and while he was producing, I was singing in front of my TV, and I sent him a message like, yo, I have a melody. Sent me the beat, recorded my part, sent to her, she recorded her part. I finished mixing today. It's already on its way to the stores.
Bravo.
Yeah. So yeah, it's super cool. Listen, I want to see what happens when, because right now in Portugal, in France, in Germany, it's like different situation from everywhere. In the US, I can see some states are realizing the danger and they are staying home, and others are protesting and like completely not social distancing, and you have a president that is encouraging them, like saying, oh, I understand them, like never being firm in the decisions that he has to take for the people. And I'm wondering, and I guess I don't have the answer, but when they open the gates and they open the restaurants, they open all the malls, the mega malls, is everybody gonna be running to catch all the time that they lost?
I mean, okay, so first I have to say that the United States is complicated. It's not like Europe. It's not like China. It's not like South Korea. It's not like countries in Africa. You know, the United States is a very complex country. There's 50 states in the country. The most important thing that people need to understand about the system in the United States is that you have the federal government, but each of the 50 states have their own independence.
Small, so they have mini government inside.
Exactly. So they have the right to make certain and uphold certain laws that might be opposing the federal government. So that in and of itself creates a problem, right? Then the other thing that people need to understand is that the very nature of the United States is based on individualism. It's based upon the I. It's not based upon what cultures have been for time immeasurable, which has always been the we. Always. Every culture in the world operates off of the we. Even quote unquote newer cultures still operate off the we. and I'm thinking of Canada, still operates off the we. However, here it's about the I, which creates a very difficult, it creates competition versus collaboration, right? So we're always sort of competing to, for capitalism, right? We're trying to compete to get the American dream.
And it's sad right now because right now the answer is collaboration.
The answer is absolutely collaboration.
America is like, Gelas is saying, we have a president here.
I know.
Haven't seen one since January 19th, 2017.
And I think most people would agree. I mean, we do have, in the highest office in the country, we have somebody who was a reality TV star who is a businessman, and some would argue not a very good businessman, but that's another story. But back to the United States, I think the biggest issue that the United States is facing right now amidst this coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic is that the country, the belief system of the country is based upon freedoms, right? You have your freedoms, right? That means that the most important freedom of all is that the government doesn't have the right to tell you how to live your life. That is like the core of what American values are. So now you have a situation where the government is telling you, you have to stay home. You can't go to work. You can't do this. And you don't have a safety net set up. Whereas in a lot of other countries like Canada, I saw in Switzerland, I saw in, I forget what other country, some other country in Europe, where they're giving people that have lost their jobs a certain amount of money every single month, regardless of what job you had, et cetera, et cetera. The government is providing that. That's not the way it works in the United States. In the United States, when you work a job, you put money, it's called unemployment insurance. You pay every single paycheck, you pay a percentage of your paycheck into an unemployment insurance fund. So that in the event that you lose your job, you now can access that. So it's like insurance, right? You don't necessarily put all the money into the insurance that you would get back because it's a little bit of a gamble for the insurance company. You may need it, you might not need it. So now you have a situation where you have massive amounts of people, millions of people now unemployed, which is like, putting a lot of pressure on the system. Not to mention the health.
They also lose their
benefits,
the healthcare.
The healthcare. Exactly. So, and now you have to pay for your healthcare. So, you're really talking about a shit show. Like, seriously, you really are. And so you have all of those factors. So people are like, okay, screw you, government. I don't want to stay in my house anymore. There, you have a leader who has said that this is a hoax, like that publicly stated it was a hoax. Yeah. So you have a ton of conspiracy theorists that have come up with every reason on the planet, from 5G to microchips, to aliens, to Bill Gates, to this, to that, the Chinese government, etc. I mean,
you know what somebody sent me? Somebody sent me a old, from 2012, like on Netflix. There's a Korean novella. They don't call it novella, but you see what I mean? And where somebody says, "Oh, I think she had the coronavirus," and he's like, "See." And then I just sent him a link to the World Health Organization. There's 200 different coronaviruses. But then I was like, oh my God, like why do I have people that are so stupid in my around me?
But this is the world that we're living in. We're living in a time where there's so much information available to you, and so much misinformation at the same time. And I think everybody is used to getting everything quick, fast now. So nobody is researching. Nobody is doing, even media people. Yeah. Reputable media companies like CNN. And this is one of the reasons.
Everybody wants to reply quick. Everybody wants to react quick. And everybody wants to retweet, repost, reshare, like as fast as they see. Oh my God. Like they wake up, they didn't even pee yet. They already resend everything. Like, I've been receiving so much stuff on my WhatsApp.
It's crazy.
That I actually, it's been like 46 days at home.
Wow.
And
I think we're at 36 days.
Already?
I think it's 36, yeah.
Out here in Portugal, it's been forever. And I receive stuff now, and I want to reply. Oh, I already had it. I already saw that one. But then I just say, lol. It's like now I'm receiving the same stuff from different people, and it just bounce from group to group, and I'm like, you know what? No more notifications, and I only watch the news now once a week. You know, like we have music feelings TV in the house.
Hey,
No,
music feeling.
listen, nobody knows American R&B in France like this guy and his channel.
Nice.
Like he goes
Nice.
deep, deep down.
That's great.
Gelas is saying there are two
Yes.
viruses spreading now: Corona and the more dangerous one, ignorance.
Gellis is so right on time
yeah,
because
true.
you're talking about like information. I remember when this first hit, right? When it was in China and it was in like South Korea, there was a meme that was going on. There were actually a few of them that they were saying like, black people can't get coronavirus. We're immune to it.
Oh my God.
And I was like, at first I was like, oh, we're immune to it. Okay, interesting. Where did this come from? And I just didn't really take it very seriously. But then everybody started reposting it. Then boom, the first basketball player here in the country got it. And everybody was like, oh, now we have somebody who's black who has it. And then it was like, oh, he's half white. So that's the reason why I got it. Okay, cool. No, seriously, this was actually happening.
It's a French guy.
Right. Okay, cool. So the French guy. So then there was another. Yeah. Now there's another basketball player, right? And then he gets it, and everybody goes,
the whole team.
Well, we need to check his genealogy. He must have white blood somewhere. That's the reason why I got it. But then
For real?
The best was when Idris Elba got it, because then it was like, okay, now what? That was like the mic drop moment. Like, shut up, people. Idris Elba is from Nigeria, so I'm pretty certain that African people can get it. So stop with the bullshit. And now look what we find. Gellis said ignorance. And it couldn't be further from the truth what he's saying, because what happened? What ended up happening is that now, here in America, black people are suffering disproportionately from coronavirus.
3 times more.
3 times more. We have the most cases and the most amount of death. And I think there's a correlation right there, because people weren't taking it seriously. So because people weren't taking it for a long time, going out without masks, doing stupid stuff, hanging out, smoking blunts with each other.
Oh my God.
Like
passing each other, people. Pass the virus,
So to me, I'm like, I think the biggest problem that we have here in the US, and I think why this is so crazy here, is because Americans are all about their freedom. Telling Americans they have to stay home is like ridiculous. So everybody's protesting. Everybody's out here acting crazy. The federal government isn't giving clear direction from the top down. The states, everybody's like got a different thing. It's not like China. It's not like Korea. It's not even like Portugal, where everybody is like, okay, we want to do what's right for the better good of the whole community.
Yeah, listen,
or a government like China. Yeah, or like China, where you could force people to do it. You can't do that here. You can't do that here. And if you do start doing that, it's going to be a revolt, because everybody's going to say it's a military dictatorship and we have to fight. Do you know that of all of the stores that closed in this country, right? Mm-hmm. All the stores closed, retail, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What was deemed essential? Just this tells you everything you need to know about the United States. Automotive repair shops, gas.
What?
Automotive repair, gas, right? Okay, then you have the obvious ones. No. I'm saying that was essential, that was kept open. Okay. So obviously pharmacies, right? Restaurants for takeout, grocery stores. Okay. Then you have the auto repair, the gas. But then get this. What was deemed essential? Liquor stores. What else was deemed essential?
Arms.
Gun shops. Exactly. So everybody that's believing that this is a conspiracy, that people are trying to kill us, that it's the government, it's the Chinese, it's this one, it's that, it's 5G, it's whatever, they're all soldiered up. All the ammunition is gone. All of the guns have been sold. So now you have people in their homes that feel that the government is trying to oppress them. This one's trying to oppress them. That one's trying to oppress them. But they got their guns and they're ready. And they're also drinking their alcohol. And they're watching their reality TV. It's a recipe for disaster.
For disaster. Listen to me. I understand that this is I understand that every civilization and every country have their rules and their culture and their way to be, and that in America is the land of merit, the land of the free, and whoever can make it up to the top. And this was always what I loved about it when I was thinking about me being raised in France, born in Africa, raised in France. It's a country where you can never fall too low, but you can never go too high, unless whether in America, when you make
They
it,
love you.
people love you. People are, wow, you're a hero, you're rich, da 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 da. But special canals, and when you go too high, people hate you. Now we see the limit. Now we see the limit of this exercise, where anybody can make it, literally anybody. And like I've been watching the daily. I've been watching the daily briefings.
Yes.
And like every day I'm like, yo, for real? Like, did he just say that in front of like, and I look at the pictures. Every time I look at the faces of Dr. Fauci and that other woman, like, and sometimes you can see in there, you can see that they are trying to not like be like, nigga, but
Right.
like, and these guys, there comes to a point where you have to leave politics on the side and
Right.
start thinking about people and the
Right.
people that are suffering. And if you don't have a clue what you are talking about, then just be the MC
Right.
and let the people who know reply to the answers. Don't even say I don't have the answers, or I don't know, or let me ask Tony. No, just make it seems like you have everything under control, and let people speak the complicated stuff, and then you wrap it up and you intro. And every time I'm like, in 2021, China is ruling.
Oh yeah.
That's for
sure.
And a lot of countries that think that they are safe from harm will discover that after the virus, there's going to be the tsunami of the economic crisis.
Oh, it's going to be nuts.
Like, any country that lives of rich people coming, like for example, here in Portugal, we've been pretty much spared. If I dare say spared, we have 10 times less cases and death than Spain and Italy, which are our direct neighbors.
You know why?
Spain is, and
I think I know the reason why. Because I live in a Portuguese neighborhood. Because Portuguese people are always cleaning.
oh my God.
Bleach is everywhere. I'm serious.
Yeah, wow.
I was like, Portuguese people are going to be just fine during this coronavirus epidemic or pandemic because, I have to say this though, because you
But wait.
Okay.
But even if, in terms of health, and people have been great, like people staying at home, being careful, wearing masks, and the government did their share. The president talked to the people super early. So when countries like France were still not wanting to close everything and still had all the kids in school, we were already all at home. But even then, the economic crisis that is coming from all the rich people not having money anymore to buy everything, to come to the hotels, to the like, that's gonna be seriously something. Gellas is saying they still don't take it seriously. Here in Atlanta, everyone is out chilling, mad people in the supermarket bumping into each other.
I feel bad for Georgia. I really feel bad for Georgia, and I really, really hope that people will not listen to what the governor is saying of Georgia and will actually protect themselves, because it hasn't even hit Georgia yet. Like where I am in the New York area, it already hit here. This is the worst
Yeah,
area,
epicenter.
right? So we're now just at the height of it. We're just about to start coming down. That means that everywhere else in the country hasn't really been hit yet, except for I think Washington and California. But outside of that, everybody else is still there's on the uprise. So I feel for Georgia. You know, I have to say that a couple of things. One, it's crazy when you look at these briefings. I agree with you. But two things. One, you know, everybody in America believes in the American dream. All the things that you said about, you know, growing up in France and looking at it here and being like, oh yeah, our president won his race, right? He won the race on this platform, right? That he somehow was like the American dream. But that's not true. This is somebody who was born with a silver spoon in their mouth. This is somebody who had money already. He didn't have to make it. He already made it. He was born into it. So that he's not the American dream, but that's just the platform that he ran on. The other thing is that I don't think anybody really gets into office in this country unless you're supposed to. I really don't. And so that's interesting in and of itself. And then the third thing is when you become a president of a country, regardless of whatever political party you belong to, now it's your job to you're to represent everybody. So it's really crazy what's happening in terms of looking at like real leadership and seeing. You should definitely check out Mayor Ras Baraka, the mayor of Newark. You should check out his briefings because some of the stuff that he's saying is insane. So like this, the local governments, the states and the cities were told basically fend for yourself. The federal government is not going to provide you with any of the personal protection stuff. They're not going to provide you with this, that, and the third. So for them to purchase from American retailer to purchase the N95 masks, it was going to cost them something like $11 million. So everybody's been purchasing stuff from China because it's so much cheaper. But then they're getting told that they're not being American because they're purchasing stuff from China. But yet you're making this competition so that people that own these companies can get rich. And that right there, I think, says a lot about this country. The other thing is when it comes to the economy, like for us to be, you know, people think America is like the greatest country in the world, right? If you travel, you know that that's not true. I think this is a great country. I was born and raised here. I think that this country, my family has been able to do things that they probably would not have been able to do in Cape Verde. And for that, I am grateful. I think as a woman, I think that this has been a very interesting place to grow up. I think, especially as a businesswoman, I've learned a lot. I've got a great education, et cetera, et cetera. However, the way that this situation or this pandemic has revealed what really is happening in this country, I think is earth-shattering for most. That in less than a month for everything to just basically crumble. And the repercussions of that, you know, I think American money is going to be worthless. I've been telling everybody that I love, start either getting into foreign currency or pay attention to cryptocurrency, because if the United States economic structure collapses, it's going to ripple affect the whole world. And this pandemic is already causing internal problems with every single country around the world. So there's a
lot of countries that have been low-key trying to get out of the influence of the dollar, because it is used sometimes to just cut your wings when you are winning. They can just decide for whatever reason, and they have tons of great reasons that they can find to just not letting you use the dollar. So all of a sudden you cannot play in the worldwide game because you are deemed evil. And a lot of people will now be like, yo, this is a great time to actually reset for ourselves. Like, and there's a lot of, and you know, there's something I've seen too here in Europe. Europe didn't do shit. Like in the beginning, like when Italy was going down, there was no European Union. Like, and then we realize here too that European Union is more an economic space rather than a place where you could have a coordination, where you had supranationals that could decide what all the country do, when that could decide that if a country has too many people having disease, they can transfer them to the other countries, because that's what is supposed to be a union. But then we all realize that even here, this could collapse, because a lot of people, like Italy, for example, will feel a lot of resentment, knowing that when they were deep in shit, people were just filming them like Europeans are used to film Africans and poor parts of the world when there's malaria and AIDS and Ebola and whatever. All of a sudden, yeah, you are now the people that are shown like the zoo. And a lot of these people will feel away, knowing that when we needed you, who came? Cuba.
The
China.
irony, right? The irony of it all.
And everybody has been used for so long to look up to the leader of the free world, which is the US. And the US told you, like, the guy arrived and said, "Ah, fuck y'all. We playing solo."
And as an American, like, that's scary.
That is.
I mean, it really is scary, because we've always had all these allies around the world, and we are now
losing them one by one.
Losing them one by one. And here we are, like, on an island. I mean, Canada is pissed off at us. Mexico doesn't even. The irony of the things that are happening is actually hilarious, right? So as a child of immigrants, naturally, I'm for immigration. I mean, I just think you're a total hypocrite. If you're an American and you don't believe that immigration is good, or if you believe that there's something, you're like a total hypocrite, in my opinion, because unless you're Native American, this is not your land either. So you either came here by choice or by force. Either way, this is not your country. So the fact that all these people are against the illegals, which now everybody's realizing how important the illegal immigrants in this country are, because they're the ones, all the undocumented workers are the ones that are harvesting our food. And now they're realizing, oh snap, like, these people, we need them. How do we keep them? They wanted them to go to work for less than what they normally get paid. Can you believe that? Less than what they normally get paid to keep the economy going. Are you kidding me? You're also, telling me that if ICE comes to my house, that you can drag me out of my home and arrest me and deport me back to wherever I came from. Or if I'm trying to come across the border, you can take my children from me and put them in detention centers and arrest me. It's just nuts. So the irony that Mexico is like, yes, we want the wall. Now they want the wall. They're like, we don't want Americans coming here at all. Americans are barred from going to Mexico right now. The irony, the sheer irony of that. And, moving forward, as our economy goes down, I think a lot of Americans are going to start thinking about other places, thinking about, where else can we go? Where else can we live? Yeah. And are we going to be refugees? Are we going to be economic refugees? What's that going to feel like to, after having refused refugees from Syria and refugees from all other parts of the world that desperately were seeking refuge, that we said, no, we don't want you to come here. What's going to happen when that's us? I thank God that I'm not one of those people that thought or feels like that, because those people, I think the karmic retribution that they're going to face is crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. And so just to answer your question, no, I don't think it will ever be the way that it was. And I hope that it's not. And I hope that we can come out of this a little bit more compassionate, a little bit more aware. I think that definitely our environment is experiencing some healing. And I think that's...
The water in front of my house is so transparent. The air when I go jog, like, hurts my nose because of how pure it is. Like, I'm like, ugh, what is this? And it is actually, the earth is healing itself a bit from the real virus, which is us.
Yes, I agree.
But I don't know if things will change. All I know is that people like us, and hopefully a part of all the musicians, artists, creators, and all the people who are right now stranded on house arrest and who are just bored and are raping Netflix. It is the best moment to either reinvent yourself or either add some strings to your arc, to your bow, and like start doing new things, start thinking about the content that you wanted to create but never had time. And instead of being stressed about what's happening outside and oh, I want to go outside, or I need to go buy something, because you've been brainwashed in thinking that if you wear the same shirt 5 times, people are gonna look at you strange and whatever. My hair, my bird, etc., etc. This is a Shada. This
Yay!
is I didn't create yet the animations to put on, but and this is the moment when you can actually start doing things that you were thinking of but never taking the time, because in the end of the day you had no more creative energy juice. Like, look at me, it's been 5 days being live at night, for an hour or two with people, and having conversations, and having all the friends here in the comment section giving their opinion and listening to us, and we can talk about music, we can talk about stuff, but it is a moment where people who are creatives, it's hitting us hard.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
anybody listen, and a lot of people think that artists are rich, but even if like, so okay, some of us are,
Some 1%.
but even if you make, okay, let's say 10,000 per month, because of the amount you make, you might have a lifestyle that goes with this medium amount of money that you're making per month. So you might have a rent of 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, plus restaurants and stuff, whatever you do, clothing and whatever that costs you 8 per month, and you end up with 2 at the end of the month, and you're good. And you might be the moment when everything stopped abruptly. Maybe you had 1,005 with you.
Yeah.
And now you have your rent coming.
Yeah, this is,
So
I mean,
it's like, and it's even worse for those who go from show to show, paycheck to paycheck, DJ gig to DJ gig, barmaids, waiters, bouncer, security at the doors of the clubs, like restaurants, small restaurants, a small pizza. Like, there's a lot of people right now. It just ended, like, the whole, it's not like, I remember I was having a conversation with a friend. We were trying to organize a tour between Congo, South Africa, Mozambique, and do all that southern part and central part of Africa. And we were like, okay, let's try to do these shows, and just to connect with the people, and just say that you're here, and etc., etc. Let's try to make 15-20K. And I was like, bro, the whole world is about to shut down. And they were looking at me, are you crazy? Like, maybe in Europe they will shut it down, but here in Africa, da 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 da. And listen, Africa as well, like, shows, the act of performing for people just ended like this one day. And what, like, all the countries in the span of 2 weeks, it just stopped. People who had tours, like, some people had tours when they were supposed to win 200K, for example, at the end of like a 4 or 5 month tour, and some people were, smaller artists might have 5 shows for 5,000, so they bought something for 3,000. Like, this happened to me. I remember once I had a show in Gabon, and I was supposed to get 10K for the show, and So let's look at my bank account. I have 2,000. I'm about to have 12,000. I really wanted that TV, and I really wanted some stuff for the computer for music. So I just spent 5,000, and I was like, okay, by the time the payment is processed by the bank, I will be at minus 3,000. But by the time I come back with the money, I'll put it there, and I'll be at 7,000 plus. And then I had 2 more shows in other countries. So I was like, I'm good. So I spend the money. The day of the show, I'm getting ready to take the plane, and my manager, Guylaine, calls me. Yeah, okay, something happened, some political unrest. Everything is canceled for the next 3 weeks. What you mean? No, Gabon, they have this happening, cancel. This, something happened, whatever, cancel. That one, they have a tornado coming, whatever, canceled. And there I am with my minus 3,000.
Right.
And so, of course, at that time I was making so many shows that I just told her, listen, book me some small shows in small cities, and I just need to make the 3,000 back, so that at least I'm good with the bank. And then after that, we'll just make the money. After 2 weeks, I was good. But imagine if at the moment where I'm at minus 3,000, the world stops like this, and this is the situation of a lot of people.
A lot of people. We are the most vulnerable. Anybody who works in entertainment, our whole entire purpose, our whole entire livelihood depends on gathering people.
True.
That's what we do, right? So whether you own a restaurant, or you own a nightclub, or you're a bartender or a bar back, or you're a singer, or you're a sound engineer, whatever you do, it is dependent on gathering people. So I think we are some of the hardest hit people, especially because these jobs are not like, there's no 401k, there's no unemployment insurance, there's no even health insurance. For a lot of people, don't have health insurance that work in these industries. And yeah, we are all facing a moment where we have to figure out, and we've had to figure out, and we are figuring out really quickly how to pivot. What do you do? And you and I talked about this yesterday, and I really think that there's like key things. Like, you have to be able to be flexible. You have to be willing and able to change the way you do things. 2, you have to be able to work with the tools that are available to you, technology, social media, et cetera, et cetera. And 3, you have to be collaborative. You have to be willing to collaborate with people. If you are one of those people who wants to be the first, the only, you're going to have a big problem right now, because you really are, because so much of what we need in this moment is sharing information, collaboration. You and I spoke yesterday. You turned me on to some things that I didn't know about, which helps me. I explained to you that me and at least 4 other of my DJ friends have been figuring out, okay, how do we do these parties online? How do we monetize it? What do we do? How do we start to pivot? What can we do to take our skill set and still do the same thing, which is gather people, but do this using digital technology, using the internet, use it. Yeah. And now we have a totally different field of competition, right? Whereas before, if Kaysha was doing a show in New York City, Kaysha was competing against anybody else who might do your style of music in New York at that night. Yeah. Right? That was all you were competing with.
Exactly.
And chances are you were the only show in town that was on that level, right? Yeah. So boom, you have a guaranteed audience. They're all coming. Now, if Kaysha decides to do a show from his house, Kaysha now is competing against Alicia Keys, John Legend, D Nice, who's got at least 20,000 people listening. Yeah. Like me as a DJ, I'm competing against the best DJs in the world. You got Bob Sinclair, you've got Bodhisattva, you've got D Nice, you've got Questlove, you've got everybody competing now at the same level. So that
equalizing technology, equalizing people, big time.
Technology equalizing. So it's a totally different set of problems. And if you don't have your tribe and you don't have your people that you can share information with and support one another, you're going to have a hard time, because you're not going to be able to successfully transform this into something that that allows you to survive, you might need to find a new career. And there's going to be, I think, a lot of industries that are going to die and a lot of jobs that are going to die in this time period because they're not going to be able to come back from it. Businesses that are not going to be able to it's crazy to think that huge companies are not going to be able to come back from this. So if you're a major retailer or you're an airline or you're whatever major corporation and you can't come back from this, how is an independent artist supposed to come back from this if you are not willing to change?
Gellas is saying you don't have to worry about Teddy Riley though.
Yo, can we just talk about that for a second? Okay. I literally got my entire life. I didn't watch all of it. I tuned in towards the end. So Babyface was like stuck. So I couldn't actually like see the live. So Questlove happened to be showing it off of his, like he had his iPad up, so he was restreaming it. So I was watching it. So
I watched him from my computer. It was fine from the computer.
That's what everybody said. It was fine from the computer. So Babyface was cracking me up. But then
the silent assassin. Like if like, and it was like, this is remixes. I didn't know we do remixes. Oh, I don't do remixes. Pat. It's like, yo.
The shade. I was like, yo. And then in the end, when Teddy Riley, like Teddy Riley's back on because he couldn't get onto Babyface's, and Babyface is trying to get in, but he's not seeing it, and he's like, just say something, like not understanding the technology of what you're supposed to do. I was dying, and then finally,
I love the way he was talking to all his people. I was like, yo, you have to pay attention. When I was talking to the people working for him, like, you need the cable, like, listen, like, I think Babyface played a strategy of destabilization because he knew that, listen, Teddy's a legend, but it seems like he has some ADHD or something. Like he couldn't like stay in place. You could see that he was aggravated all the time, and that like it's like I know exactly the moment when Babyface like put some kicks in his foundations when he put out the guitar, and then now the whole time Teddy's looking for how to plug his keyboard, and he completely got out of his concentration, and the whole time, and I'm saying the whole time, Babyface is here. Bottles
by himself,
candles by himself, candles, Scarface playing in the back, awards, and it's like, look at this crazy motherfucker. It's like, and because me personally, like, I'm a Teddy fan.
Love Teddy.
Like New Jack Swing is my thing.
Yeah.
But listen, the respect I have for Babyface, the way he did his strategy, it would be like me against Nichols. It would be like that. Like, and I like, did you see that? I'm challenging Nelson Freitas.
I can't wait. That's going to be a dope battle. Before we end this, we have to go through what our like wish list is in our world of people to battle, because I think that there's definitely some. But I want to say this about Teddy Riley, because Babyface kept his composure and everything. He did his last little song, and you know what? It's hard to beat Whitney, right? And that's our girl. She's from Newark, so she's a hometown girl right here. Love Whitney. That was dope. But then Teddy had the floor. And when but when Dr. Dre called, it was like suddenly Teddy remembered who he was. And he literally was like, Dr. Dre was talking, and then he was like, da-da-da-da, and then he drops Remember the Time by Michael Jackson. Boom. Mic drop. Now, see, if he had done that.
Can you imagine how many people were like, but this is why I'm saying that listen to me in terms of like, listen, okay, wait, listen. Babyface is an absolute legend, but the way, like, sometimes it's not about what you did and everything you have to show off, because both of them have hits and hits and hits, but it's about the strategy. Like, how many times did I arrive in a show and like I was the only one who was on playback, or I was the only one that everybody was looking up because of whatever, we are the real singers, you sing auto tune, blah 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 blah. And in the end, everybody's licking my ass because I destroyed the show because I just came strategic and I did what I had to do. And you are here just trying to impress everybody and impress each other, and you end up fucking up. Yeah. And this is really why, even if it's just in terms of music, okay, like when he played the Tevin Campbell, I was like, like Babyface has some, but Teddy has more variety in everything that he did, in terms of, it's not just ballads, it's really like hip hop songs, R&B songs, a whole movement, New Jack Swing.
Come on, like, and not to mention Timbaland, Missy Elliott,
Joe
Genuine.
Missy, Genuine, like all these people, Neptunes, they all came from his school. So, but it seems like Babyface and technology achieved of making him forget all of that for a time, because he was aggravated and he was
stressed out. He was stressed out. That's why I was like, damn, it's a shame that Babyface is no longer on the line, because honestly, that moment to me, that was it. From that moment, you don't get better than dropping Michael Jackson, Remember the Time. I'm sorry. That is the top. Once he did that, I was like, mic drop battle over, Teddy actually won. But had you not seen that, it would have seen that Babyface had won.
The problem is, like, at that moment, we went from 500,000 concurrent viewers to 100 and something.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, even me, I went back to mixing. So, you know.
It's like, all right, it's over. Hilarious. So who do you want to say? I want to see, so this Kaysha Nelson, I can't wait for that. That's going to be dope.
Listen.
Who else would be like your wish battle?
This boy is here telling me that, I have like hundreds of hits, and like, bro, listen, you might be my best man at my wedding, but bro, like, catalog, you want to compete with me on catalog? He has some amazing hits. I mean, but
you have so many songs. You have so much.
And two of his biggest songs I did, so I can play them if I want.
You should. That's actually
he
like a plot.
He doesn't want me to start. If I start first, I'm playing one of his songs.
As you should. That's a plot twist right there. Listen, Deeper, to this day, Deeper is still one of the best Zouk tracks ever made. After the Haitian earthquake, DJ Stax, was it DJ Stax or was it Mr. C? It was Mr. C. Mr. C and DJ Stax together, they were on Hot 97, and they were
remember.
Like, and they dropped Deeper, and I was like, yo! It was like earth-shattering for New York City to play. I remember hitting you up like, yo, they're playing your song.
That was crazy. I was like, oh my God, I like made it.
That had never happened in all the years of listening to radio. I've never heard our music on mainstream radio in prime time. So come on, that's like a mic drop right there. Okay, outside of you two, because that's going to be an epic. Exactly, that's going to be an epic battle. Who else do you want to see? I got some ideas of people I want to see go at it.
I want to see Carry Me versus Charisma
or T-Vice.
Oh, yeah, Carry Me versus T-Vice. I want to see Nichols versus Ali Angel.
Oh, that's dope. I want to see that too. I want to see that too.
I want to see Princess Lover versus Fanny G.
Oh, that's good.
I want to see Philip Monteiro.
Oh, wow. Versus who?
Who would I put versus Philip Montero? Maybe Denis Gracias.
That would
What
be
do you
good.
think?
That's a good mix. That's a good mashup.
I
Yeah,
want to
see it
see Si Cuatro Pedro,
against who?
Selma Ralph,
Well, okay, what about LG? Who would you put LG against?
Nelson Classic.
Ah,
No,
that's
no,
a
no,
good
no, no,
one.
no, no. I want to see Nelson Classic versus Looney Johnson
Okay, that's good. You know who
because
I want?
because people have no idea how many hits Looney did.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
as a producer, he
as a
has
producer.
a ton of them. I want to see LG. I would maybe LG. I think I said it yesterday. LG with KR beats,
That would be dope.
you know,
That'd be dope. What about the
or
ladies?
KR and Eminem.
What about ladies? Who would you want to see, ladies?
Yasmin versus Gamma.
Wow, Gama, what's up with her? I
I don't
love
know,
her.
but this is like
Ten,
and
Tenta Sound.
Looney Johnson made all those beats.
Oh, really? See, because Tenta Sound was it's still one of my favorite, all-time favorite songs. I love that song so
What up,
much.
AJ? I would love to see the battle of the Zouk Kizomba producers artists.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what? In the Afro beats world, I want to see Burna Boy versus Davido.
Or versus
Wizkid?
Wizkid.
I would like to
Who
see.
has more hits of the three?
Well, I don't know, because right now Burna Boy is on top.
Ah,
But he's
like-
killing the game. Like, honestly,
it's like-
everybody needs to take a page from his playbook, because he was written up in the Wall Street Journal, the New York
Yeah,
Times.
it's
I
crazy,
mean, this
crazy.
guy is selling out stadiums. He did the Tiny Desk concert for NPR.
Yeah. No, it's
Killing
he's
the
gone.
game. Killing the game.
Malcolm Beats in the house. I want to see Malcolm Beats versus. Listen, Malcolm Beats versus his evil twin. You know who I'm talking about.
You know who I really like that you turned me on to is Little Maro. I like his production a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really like. He sent me two tracks that I
talent
really.
he has. Listen,
Yeah,
like
very talented guy.
he's doing an album right now, and the beats that I heard, I was like, whoa. And actually, that artist that I'm about to do that song, she's actually working with him on future productions. So that's why I was like, okay, let's do it.
Nice.
I would love to see, because I'm a beat maker, so and that's the thing, like even if it's true that it's an epic battle between me and Nelson, he has a lot of songs that he did for other people, that is true, but he has really more hits as him as a singer,
Right.
even if he has some hits, but I really have like a bunch of songs. Like I could do this battle with none of my songs,
Right.
and I could
I
do
know,
this
'cause I know you
battle
got 'em.
with just one album. I could just play the songs from one album, and then I could play like African Bohemian and Legendary, and just use that for the battle. But I have, people forget, I have like the Mika Mendes, I have Looney Johnson, I have like I was looking at the list of tracks that I have, and I was like, yo, I might need more than 20.
Yeah, you have songs from Se Cuatro Pedro, Vanda. I mean, and the list goes on and on and on. It's a long list.
Music Feeling is saying, I think you should battle Ali Angel.
Nah. No offense to Ali Angel, but
Listen, Ali's a genius. Ali's like, is like, oh well. Listen. In the Zouk world, Ali has like, from Theorem in the 90s to producing one of the best albums of Nichols, to inventing like this old Zouk compa style that everybody's still doing today. He's the originator of that. So he has like songs like Zouk Bordel 2004, songs for so many people. Like no. Like I think until Mark G came in the game, Ali was
Oh,
dominating the game.
Mark.
But
Mark
I
G.
would put Mark G versus Ali Angel.
That's actually a really fair battle.
Yeah.
What about DJs?
Battle of DJs? What would they
DJs
do? They would
are
scratch?
but yeah, just to, like in terms of how they can get the party hype, because there's party DJ. I mean, there's all different types of DJs. Like to me, Lights Out Crew has been dominated, at least for Cape Verdean music, has been dominating for a very long time.
Oh, wait,
You
listen.
know,
Wait. Gelas has a great question.
what is it?
Manu Lima versus Philippe
Oh,
Montero.
really? I would say Manu Lima versus Grace Avora.
Because Manu Lima did some, like, listen, Manu Lima this is Afrozouk, this is Monique Seca, this is Oliver Ngoma, this is a team should battle. A team should battle.
A team.
A team should battle Mika Mendes.
Yeah, a team and Mika is a good match. That's a good one.
Or Mika and Philip. Who would you put against?
But I feel like Philippe has a bigger catalog than Mika. He's been in the game longer.
Listen, like the thing is, since he moved back. I mean, he moved back a bit in the shadows.
Yeah.
Mika had the time to do like a lot of catalog, and he has a lot of like songs that killed.
Right. I love Mika. I think he's one of my favorite artists. I
want to see Mayra Andrade versus
Sara Tavares
and Lura versus
Elida Almeida. Come on, I gotta see that.
Susana Lumbrano against
Susana. Oh, maybe because Susana had so many hits, man. That time period with her and Betu. Oh my God. Exactly. I'm trying to think of like as a what other woman, Cape Verdean woman. In the Zouk arena, I mean, I don't know. Maybe Jocelyn. That would be interesting.
I don't think she has enough songs to battle.
Yeah, she doesn't have as many songs.
Like you need somebody who's like ready and armed to come with like 10, 15 bangers.
And when it comes to women, like women Zouk singers or Kizomba singers in the Cape Verdean world, there aren't that many. There really aren't.
I want to see Tanya Sanval.
Wow, yeah, that would be good. That would be good.
Against.
What's her name? God, I did a show with her. With the guy with Richard Cave. What's her name?
Tina.
They have a song Tina.
Tina Lee. I guess Tanya Sanval.
Could be interesting.
Nah. She doesn't have the spot. Nah. She's like, that's my sister. That's my sister. But nah. Tanya Sanval. Listen, Tanya Sanval will go with like.
Yeah, she's been
my first Zouk beat. To do it. I listened to a song of Tanya Sanval called Carole. I heard it 30 times.
Wow.
And I was just studying until I was like, okay, let's go. And I did my first beat, the 94. So unless you have enough catalog, because like,
that's not gonna happen.
Like it's not everybody that can say, okay, I got catalog. And nah. Gelas is saying Susana versus Dina Medina.
Yes, Gallus, yes. Because yes. Oh, Dina Medina has some of my all-time favorite songs too. Contradição. Oh, I love that song. Love it.
Tao DJ is saying, thought about Jamis. I would put
Jamis.
Jamis against Two Ways. But it's the same label. They were in the same label. But yeah. Jamis against AC Jordan. That could be nice.
Mm-hmm.
And the Queen, Marcia. Marcia's Cap Version. Would you consider her a kizomba singer? I mean, the album she did with Nichols, and then what she did with Classic it is.
Yeah, it's definitely so.
Yeah. Gelas is saying Tanya Saval against Edith Lefel. Rest in peace. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, or Gilles Semedo against Neto. Rest in peace.
Gilles, I know. Oh, that would have been an epic battle.
You know what would have listened? Okay, I said it yesterday. Let me say it. Let me say to you again, since you're a woman, and I know you're my sister, so you will not slap me in the face virtually. Can somebody go take a phone and an iPad and go in Chicago in jail and give an R. Kelly and put R. Kelly against everybody?
R. Kelly versus you know who I want to see? I would
R.
love
Kelly
to see
against Teddy Riley.
I would
that
love
was
to see
the epic battle, and Babyface with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lyric.
That would be dope, but I would love to see R. Kelly versus Aaron Hall, because legit, R. Kelly to me stole Aaron Hall's swag. Aaron Hall was first.
That's true.
And then R. Kelly with the public announcement came and he tried to rip his whole entire thing.
That's so true. But at the same time, he has so much catalog. Not just for him, which is I think Aaron Hall doesn't stand a chance.
Nah,
because
not with his catalog.
I would put Aaron Hall against maybe Keith Sweat or Joe Thomas.
Yeah.
Or Brian
Carl
McKnight.
Mm-hmm.
Because R. Kelly is not just his songs, and does his songs for Michael Jackson songs, and when yesterday Teddy put songs by Michael, I was like, oh, that's unfair. But if R. Kelly was not 5-time canceled, he would say, oh, you got Michael Jackson? I got Michael Jackson too. Pa, you are not alone. Yay! But yeah.
How ironic that song, You Are Not Alone.
Music Feeling saying Teddy can't deal with R. Kelly. Listen, it depends of age.
I think Teddy would give R. Kelly a run for his money, in terms of the music.
Listen,
I really do.
Both have, but yeah, R. Kelly got hits. It's
such a shame, man, because so many of those songs were like the soundtrack of my life, and now I can't think of any of them the same way. It's really sad.
The thing is, I console myself remembering that when I do songs, I do them for certain people or about certain with a certain mood, and people make them what they want. So right. I mean, we don't really know. It's our collective narrative from a documentary. We all decided one day that those songs were about X or Y or Z when we actually don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So
sure.
I mean, I have some songs that helped me define my sound. I cannot just remove them from my memories because I cannot go and touch my memories. So right. The cancel thing, I completely understand it, but I think I think the people should decide for themselves and not be forced with a knife on their throat. Actually, too bad you don't speak French, because on Music Feelings, there's for those who speak French, he has an amazing rundown about the whole, he goes in deep, he goes in depth with these subjects and how the R&B, he knows everything. So he's saying Whitney. It's not here. Tony Braxton versus who?
Whitney versus who? Who would he have said? Whitney versus who? I don't think anybody can stand.
Nah. I mean, maybe her cousin. Tony Braxton versus Ashanti.
Yeah, they have similar similar kind of sound of their voice.
Maxwell. Nobody against Maxwell. I love Maxwell versus The Weeknd.
Oh, that would be interesting. All right, now we're really getting into it. So Drake versus
Nobody. Drake versus. Do you think 50 Ja Rule will happen?
No.
Yeah.
But I think it would
Me
be,
neither.
well, I don't think it will happen because I don't think Ja Rule is going to let it happen unless he's really going to get some money out. If he's going to get some money out of it, he might just let it happen because after that Fire Festival debauchery, he
My
needs
God,
something.
Yeah, he needs some good publicity.
Anything.
Whitney versus Mariah Carey, says Gillis.
Yeah, maybe.
In terms of vocal range, she's here.
Yeah, I just think Whitney had
Maxwell versus D'Angelo.
Ooh, now that's a good one. Yes, music feelings. Yes, because they both got that same sexy thing going on.
Drake versus Nelly.
Nah, oh hell no. No offense, but Nelly, I'm sorry, no.
Why
Nelly,
not?
No.
Why not?
Because Drake's catalog is insane. Drake has so many hits. Love him or hate him. Nah.
Yeah,
Nelly can't even compare.
Drake is out of this world now.
Drake has been, I mean, how many years has he been on the scene? And he has been killing it, hit after hit after hit. He's never stopped. True. He's never stopped. And what's remarkable about Drake is his ability to see what's coming.
Yeah,
and
he sees what's coming. Comes and he just
collaborating with his kid,
in the forefront of whatever is about to work. Like, he was like, "Oh, TikTok is a thing. Allez, I can walk like Michael Jackson." Everybody's tootsie sliding like. Juliet's saying Cameroon loves Kaysha. Hey! Shout out to all the kids I left in Cameroon. I'm joking. I'm joking. What about Cameroon artists? Elvis Kemayo versus what's his name? I have somebody in the playlist. Like I would say Elvis Kemayo against Sanfon Thomas. We don't know these guys. I'll send
I don't. You need to send me those because I don't know a lot of the music from Cameroon.
I got a playlist called Rare Afro Grooves. That one.
Oh, I'll follow it right now.
See, and there's some nice stuff in there that you might like. There's some interesting stuff in there. What about Splash
versus
Who came first, Splash or Cavercho?
Cavercho.
Cavercho
was first.
Your friend versus who's Ange Bagna? Your friend versus Tia. I don't even know who I would put versus Tia. I would put Tia versus some Nigerian girl.
Who is she Nigerian?
No, she's from Ivory Coast, but
could she?
I remember like when I made her album, I was like back then there was like nobody was there, and she could have really touched that like the whole world, like Africa. She could like have been the queen at that time.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Really, like there was like there's a lot of artists when I start working with them. I was showing them like a lane where there was nobody. I was like, yo, go there now. There's nobody.
Yeah, this is
like,
the moment for you.
Yeah, it's the moment. Like sometimes you have to wait. Like me, sometimes I remember a time everybody was like, oh, why don't you put an album? I was like, yo, calm down.
Yeah, not the time.
It's not like it's saturation. And when everybody was like, oh, everything is shit. I was like, oh, I'm coming. Okay, I'm coming. Come save us. I'm coming. Calm down. Splash versus Livy T.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, Livy T. But that's the problem, Gallus. I was thinking about it, and I'm like, okay, you got Johnny Fonseca, you got like a lot of the same musicians.
Yeah.
Sure. So they have to like play with one and then go and play with the other.
Anselmo Ralph versus C4
what's his name? I can see his face.
I was on his Insta a bit, but forgot.
What's his name? I know we're thinking of the same person.
Oh, listen. What about Sequat versus Matias Damasio? Is it too far? Joanne is saying Erykah Badu versus Jill Scott. Oh, I'm ready for that one. Badu versus Jill Scott. Listen,
I'm going with Jill. I'm going with Jill. I'm sorry.
There's a song by Jill Scott called wait.
Which one? Getting in the way.
No, not that one. Not that one. Wait. Jill
Living
Scott.
My Life Like It's Golden. He Loves Me in E flat.
That one too. No, it's something about the rain.
I love Jill Scott so much.
I think it's Love Rain.
She doesn't have as many songs as Erykah Badu does. Erykah Badu was out longer than Jill Scott was, and I'm sure Erykah Badu has more tracks than her.
Bangers, yeah.
But to me, like, I just feel like Jill Scott, she's just so authentic. Like, she's just so soulful.
Yeah. You know who I would put Jill Scott against? Was poetry, Floetry.
Oh, Floetry. Yeah, they're dope. Floetry is really dope.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I want to, who the battle I really want to see is Nicki Minaj versus Cardi B. That would be so epic. It would be epic. Just for the meme, just for the memes, just for the fuckery that would happen.
I would actually put Nicki versus
Meek Mill.
Versus Kim versus what's her name?
Little Kim? No.
Little Kim.
Little Kim will kill her.
Or you know who? Little Kim versus Remy Ma.
Yeah, Little Kim versus Remy Ma would be.
But I think Little Kim has more in terms of
hits.
catalog. She has more songs that every time, like, because to me, a good battle is when if you select 10 tracks, I want to be the same way I was when Babyface and Teddy were playing. Like every track, I was like, "What?" Like when he played Let's Chill.
Yeah.
And Babyface dropped Rock With You. I was like, yo. Philippe Montero versus Pachi de Lima. Lauryn Hill versus her watch. Lauryn Hill versus.
That's a tough one because Lauryn is so unique. Like it has to be somebody who. Nah, she can't deal with Kim. No, it has to. Lauren. It has to be for Lauren. It has to be somebody who can.
That was for before. That was for.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because Lauren, it needs to be somebody who can sing and rap. And the only person that I could think of. That's
No, Lauryn Hill is hard.
Yeah, that's a hard one. Drake. Lauryn Hill versus Drake. He sings.
Cardi and Nicki don't have the catalogs. No shade.
No, but they have the same amount of. They have about the same amount of hits.
Yeah, but is it enough to do a battle of like? I don't know.
Definitely, and it would definitely be entertaining.
Not entertaining. Yet. Lil Kim has more hits than Remy. That's
absolutely.
That's true. Absolutely.
Facts.
Queen Latifah versus MC Lyte.
Ooh, yes, that is dope. All right, Wu-Tang versus, because that's
Wu-Tang versus
I can't even
MOP.
think of it. Nope.
Gangstar.
Nope.
Group Home.
Nope. It has to be.
I would put Method Man versus Raekwon.
That would see now you got to break up the group and have them go at each other. That would be
Wu-Tang
dope.
is like.
Yeah. Nas versus Jay-Z.
Music Feeling is saying Missy versus Lauryn Hill.
Yeah, okay. Yes. All right, Music Feelings. That's a good one. I like that. Totally different styles, but they both sing and rap.
Yeah.
I like that.
But I think... I I know that
think that
Lauren
could be
has
good.
miseducation, but then she would have like dong 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 dong
Right.
dong dong dong.
Right.
Missy has like
Catalog for days.
Lil Kim versus Moni Love.
No,
Bruh.
I think that
Bruh.
I think she'd kill Moni because Moni doesn't have that many hits.
Yeah, she had like versus Wu-Tang versus Wu-Tang.
Yeah, pretty much. There you
Okay.
go. Jay-Z versus Nas for sure.
Ah, yeah. Beyonce.
Oh, Beyonce's maybe Beyonce versus. She's tough to beat because she's kind of in a class on her own.
Yeah, tell you the story where I met Beyonce.
No, tell me.
So, we were in Paris. That was back then, before all of us explode. Me organized my friends group, and our boy was always doing the security for American groups. And so there was this party in a very small club for a completely new group from Houston, and called Destiny's Child. And so yeah, we went there to see the show, and the show was cool. And then after the show, we start because their hotel were just up the street, and our boy doing the security, we all walk together. And yeah, walking, talking with them, like, hey, and then when we arrive at their hotel to drop them, we were having ideas, all of us, like, hey, who's talking to who, And then the mom arrived, and it was like, girls, and they were just like all random, like, bye. We're like, bye, and like 6 months later, they had the remix with Wyclef.
Oh yeah.
And then like
that blew up from there. That was the end of that story.
Yeah, listen, like and I mean, we didn't even know like that we would do what we do now. I mean, we were already rapping. We had our little fame in Paris, but when I think about those moments today, I know that I would have such a completely different interaction. Like we always stay respectful and stuff, but they were young. They were like
teenagers, right?
Teenagers, yeah. But it's what's interesting is that you meet people and you don't think about the business that you can do with them. The things you can create together that can change your life. And at that time, but today, who's calling you? but today, I would have completely different interaction when I meet artists. I always think about like the art we can do together and the business
what you could do together.
Wu versus Tribe. Tribe versus Brand Nubian.
Yeah, Tribe versus Brand Nubian sounds good to me.
The Roots versus Tribe. The Roots versus Tribe.
The Roots is a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. Good. That's good, Johan. I like that. It's really interesting you say that about meeting people, because like over the years I've met so many interesting people.
Yeah.
And in those moments you don't think I don't know, I never always like I don't think about stuff like that. Like I don't think about I don't know. I think probably the most famous person I ever met was Quincy Jones.
Okay.
And I was really.
I got the
remember
photo.
that? Yeah, and I ended up spending like 3 days with him in Morocco, and it was crazy. It was crazy though, and I learned so much from this guy. Like so much. He immediately connected with me.
His documentary made me cry.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's unbelievable the life that this man has lived. He's lived like 10 lives.
I had no idea.
So imagine sitting with him and talking with him. The things he told me. He told me stuff about China that made me think about like what's happening right now. It makes me sort of question some of the things because of some of the stuff that he told me about how he was performing at some anniversary that they were doing. It was like celebration 50 years, 100 years of something that they were doing, and it was cloudy. And he was performing, and of course it was like a big production, but because it was cloudy, they didn't like the way that looked. So they spent $1 million to shoot rockets into the sky to make the clouds disperse.
Fuck.
That's what just so that it would look like a clear sunny day for this production.
Wow.
I was like, what? Okay.
They mastered the filters way
before, right? Way before. And
Damn.
He also, you would appreciate this. He told me that wherever you go, wherever he had been, that he learned how to speak even just a little bit of the language. So he speaks a lot of languages. He knew how to write his name in Arabic because every country that he went to, he said, you have to show respect for these people. They want you to come to their country and perform, at least learn a little something. And, when he said, you look like one of my daughters, he said, you look like you could be my daughter.
That's true.
And then he said, where's your family from? And I said, my family's from Cape Verde. And he said, I've been there before. I was in Praia. I said, really? He said, what were you doing there? He said, we actually just stopped there to fuel. We were on our way to South Africa. I was with Colin Powell, and we stopped in Cape Verde in Praia to fuel. And we asked them, like, should we get out and explore? And you know what they told him? They told him, nah, there's nothing really to see here. There's only like one tree in the whole island.
What the fuck?
Of Santiago. And he was like, that can't be true. So the whole time, every time I'd see him, he would take his hands and he would like put it on my solar plexus and he would be like, hey, One Tree Depina, how you doing? So that was my nickname the whole time, One Tree Depina. And it was just like,
he doesn't know what I've seen.
Well, you know what's funny is he was like, now I'm seeing you. I think I missed out on some opportunity. I was like, oh my God, this man is a riot. So funny. And the best part was I have this bag. I still actually have the bag. I'm looking at it actually right now because it's hanging on my door. It's like an atom. The bag is like plastic and in the middle is an atom. And in the middle of it, the company that makes it is called Blue Q. So, a lot of people don't realize he's an older man. So in the airport, which is the last time I ran into him, we're at the airport together. Now we're waiting for the plane together and he's in a wheelchair. They're wheeling him in a wheelchair because it's easier than having him walk everywhere. So he's at the same level that my bag is at. He's sitting and I'm standing. So he goes, oh my God, your bag. It says Blue Q, yet another connection between us because that's my nickname. I was like,
oh my God. He was trying to hit that. He was trying to hit that.
No, I don't think he was. He was just like, some people thought that's what was going on, but that's another story.
That's a legend. Like, can you imagine, like, you spent like 3 days with a legend, like
I'm telling
somebody who changed the face of music.
And changed my life because when I was a little girl, my mother was a dance teacher and we had a studio in our house. We had all the mirrors and the ballet bar and I used to go in and play records and dance for hours. And I would, I was really into Michael Jackson, right? Prince and Michael Jackson were my thing. And, back then you would read the liner notes. You would get your vinyl record and you would read all the liner notes. And I was always interested in who was behind the scenes. That's always been something interested to me. And you would see the Q.
Yeah, the Q.
The big Q. And I was like, who is that? I want to know that
Who's
person.
the guy with the Q?
Who's the guy with the Q? So meeting him, and I told him this. I said, meeting you is fulfilling a lifelong dream of mine. And he couldn't be any more gracious and kind. What a wonderful human being.
I had the chance to meet Nelson Mandela and Michael Jackson the same day.
Are you serious?
In South Africa. Yeah. Same day. Like, met Michael like at 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. and I met Nelson Mandela like at 7 p.m. Like it was the Cora Awards and the same and 2 hours after I win Best African Artist. Like, and then I'm interviewed on CNN.
A legend with legends.
Like, I'm interviewed by CNN. Like all this, the same 5-6 hours, and then the next day, like everybody's calling my dad because I'm on CNN.
That's amazing.
Like, and I remember like what I said to Michael Jackson was, "Everything fine? Are you good?" He was like, "Oh, yes, thanks for asking." And then we did a photo and like, it was before the days of digital cameras. So it's somewhere in my mother's house in the basement. Like, I hope that one day I have to go there and just search for that film so I can like.
Yeah.
I don't. It's not even a question of posting it or whatever. It's just like
No, for
having
you.
it, like having it, like. And my dad, when they made the Rumble in the Jungle, my
Yes.
dad was part of the organization, and
Wow.
my dad actually had he went to jog and train with Muhammad Ali.
That's amazing.
Yeah, like
See? Legendary, Kaysha. You're legendary.
I think I have that photo. Let me see. Let me see if I have that photo. Wait. There you go. See? It's there. But I think I have another. There you go. That's my dad. How can I?
Show us. Share your screen.
Okay. That's. Wait, let me go from Spotify. Change it to photos. Can't? Can I? Oh, there you go. So that's my dad here. In the middle.
Yes.
On the right, that's my uncle. And on the left, that's Muhammad Ali.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
A legend from legends.
Can you imagine? Like, and this is them. Wait, this is them training. I mean, no, he's training my dad, but I have another one where they're training. There's a bunch of photos.
Your dad looks exactly the same. He hasn't aged at all.
This is crazy.
Like your mother too.
Yeah.
They both look the same.
Actually, I really want to take this time to like to wish a happy birthday to my mom, because it's
Happy
her birthday
birthday!
today. 65.
Oh my goodness, that's
And
amazing.
Like she hasn't aged
At all.
She's still like the most beautiful woman on earth.
She really is. And she dances so well.
Yeah, at my wedding she was like, woo, going crazy. And yeah, today that's her birthday. So tomorrow all my Instagram is dedicated to her. And yeah, like meeting like those people who are, I remember like when, so I'm already shook that I just met Michael Jackson, and that I just had my hand on his back, and that, yeah. So just this is, you feel like, okay, this is 15% of the life goals, right? And then after 2 hours, I meet Nelson Mandela, and like the moment, so we meet just outside because we are the artists. We are, I'm about to perform, so we're all here, and everybody's like, we're so respectful. Guylaine is crying, my manager, she's crying. She does her photo, and then I don't have time to take a picture with him because security and like it's a legend. And then he gets in the place where we were. So it was like a huge venue because it was a big production for TV and stuff. And when he enters, everybody stands up and start clapping. And like you have the whole, like everybody in the back. So you had like the VIP in the tables. But then up there, you had like a bunch of people. And then it goes silence and everybody starts chanting Zulu songs for Madiba, like, oh, my babe. And like, we were all crying, like. And so, yeah, listen, like, in one day, I was like, okay, this done. Nobody try to impress me, please. It's not possible. Like, there are some people that you meet and like their energy is just something else. Like if you have to be near them like this to really understand. like who they are, what they are about, and what is super strange is when, and that's the strange thing about fame, but sometimes people tell you that you create this to them, and it's almost scary. That sometimes, like, some people, like, yeah, they've been touched by you and by what you represent, by your story, by your music, by
magic.
I guess
By your magic, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, like attracts like, Kay. That's just what it is.
You say light attracts light.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
Light attracts light, and like attracts like. Yes.
True.
So I feel that's energy brings you to the places where you're supposed to be. So I'm not surprised. That doesn't surprise me at all. None of it.
I guess. Well, you know. So
I'm glad you're humble.
What do you? What do you? I mean, I told her let's talk for 40 minutes. It's been 2 hours.
Yeah, we've been talking for
But
two hours.
like me and her on the phone, we actually have those conversations exactly like it's the same way.
Yeah.
Like me and her, me and Marcy, or Marcy and I, sorry, have spoke about our exes if for cumulative probably 500 hours.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Probably. And we telling the same story over and over until it so to us we could go until like 5 a.m. here and midnight in New York, because that's what we do on the phone all the time. We exchange ideas, and I think this is how people are supposed to be. There's a lot of people who are focused right now on the negative things and the stress, and I see that a lot of people are more interested in the battles for the wrong reasons, and the memes for the wrong reason, and negative things, when actually if you focus on the positive, and you focus on building instead of either hating or wanting to destroy what has been built by the others, you would actually have a fulfilling life. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more.
What do you recommend to the creatives in these trying times?
Well, I definitely recommend keeping your energy high, keeping your frequency as high as you can by doing the things that keep you healthy. You know, without your health, you don't have anything else. So it's critical that you are taking care of your body, taking care of your mental health, getting exercise, eating, nutritious and delicious foods, taking your vitamin C and vitamin D and B12 and, doing all those things. I think that's the foundation of what you should be doing. After that, what you need to be doing is figuring out how you can transform your business right now. If you are a blogger, what can you do to enhance that? Figure out who you can collaborate with. How can you maybe take something that you've always wanted to do? You talked about time. I think a lot of us creatives are constantly going. We don't have a lot of time. So if you don't have any major ideas, or if you do have an idea that is not possible for you to create right now in this moment because of the restrictions, take this time to organize yourself. Learn a new skill if you can. Do whatever you need to do to prepare for when this changes, but also stay flexible, because things might be different when this is over. So your idea might be outdated. So I think it's really important to pay attention to what's happening, pay attention to trends, see who's winning right now.
Look in the future.
Look into the future and figure out how you can adapt yourself in those kind of ways. I think that's really critical. And the other thing is, get up on technology. If you are not tech savvy, use this opportunity to either become tech savvy or to work with somebody who's tech savvy. You don't have to know everything in this business.
Indeed.
But what you don't know, collaborate with somebody that does, so that you guys can exchange skills. But in that same way, you have to be valuable as well. So I think that component of either learning the technology or finding a good collaborator, and again, collaboration is key. It is key right now. Work with each other, support each other, make sure that you're able to not just be a taker, but be a giver also. If somebody If somebody has something that you see what you like what they're doing, okay, great. Maybe you sit down with them, you talk with them, you follow them, but also see how you can do an exchange with them. And that's another thing too. Look at currency from a different perspective. We always think of currency as money.
Yeah.
Currency is not just money. Currency is data. Like email addresses and followers, that's data. That's currency. That's a form of currency.
And sorry to interrupt, but we talk about data, and we have to realize at a point we use these platforms and we give them the data and we bring them the data from all the people who follow us, but we have to not forget to also harvest the data, because the people came for us. The people come to look in your content, and they use that to distribute to other people, because their business is their business model is different from yours. So you have to always remember that. I remember back when having a website was the thing. We were actually having way more control over who sees our content, because people would go to Kaysha.com for the Kaysha.com content. Even if you follow me on YouTube ultimately will decide if they want to show you my content.
Right.
So you have to work around that.
Yeah. And this is important information, build that digital profile. But in terms of currency, and thinking about like what currency actually is, we talk about data, we talk about your digital profile, we talk about your skills and your talents beyond your creative talent, but like the actual tools that you have available to you, like social media, like our phones, like our computers, all these different ways in which you can put your content out there. But the key to all of that is understanding that you are the currency. You're the currency.
The brand is you.
Yeah, you are the brand, right? What does Jay-Z say? I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman, right? And that's what it is. And I think that oftentimes we as creatives, we also as Black people, oftentimes undervalue ourselves.
Hey.
We just creatives want to get put on. They want to get put on so bad that you will do things for exposure. You'll do things for free. You constantly undervalue yourself. And I guarantee you that there's a lot of other people that when the minute that the conversation comes up that says, oh, I want you to do X, Y, and Z for me, one of the first questions that they ask is there a budget?
Yeah.
You have to get comfortable with talking about money and asking for what you're worth.
Exactly.
Even if you don't get it. Yeah, defining it. And I know it's not easy to do, but you have to get comfortable in doing it, and you have to be bold. You really do. You have to bet on yourself. You have to take a chance and a risk on yourself. And you know what? If you lose out on an opportunity because somebody's not willing to pay you, then that opportunity is not for you. If somebody wants to do something with you, but they don't have the actual cash to pay you, if you can work out an exchange with them, that's a form of currency too. But don't do things for free. Yeah. Do not do things for free. If there's a good exchange and it makes sense, great. But don't sell yourself short. And I think that's probably the most important thing, because now where the economy is going, a lot of people are going to get raped, and they're going to be asked to do stuff for exposure for free, for this, for that, blah, 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 blah. I'm telling you, the minute that you start letting people take advantage of you that way, they'll never value. They'll never value. It's over. Never. It's not like 6 months from now they're going to be like, oh yeah, that person, they did that for me. Let me pay them now. They're going to say, oh, they'll do it for free.
Which is a reason why I'm not doing free concerts on Instagram.
Smart. It's smart. I mean, I think if you're going to do one for charity in the sense of, I'm going to raise like Grace. That's different.
I'd actually
right?
prefer giving knowledge as I want to do things that bring value to people. I'm not saying that entertainment and singing for the people is, but I'd rather if I do a show, I'd rather do my show here on my YouTube channel and have people subscribe to me, and at least I can people can replay it, I can monetize it. Because I'm not scared of saying that for what I do, this is my business. It's my passion, that's true, but it's also my business. So all this amazing content that is on Instagram right now, in 24 hours, it disappears. Like we just had an epic battle, and thanks to everybody that is uploading it on YouTube, and but you see what I mean? The platform is not set up to have, even if IGTV exists and people could, but it's not done in a way where you could say, at the end of my life, put everything to IGTV automatically,
Yeah, no.
with the comments and everything embedded in them, so I can even like reread the comment, remove the ones that etc. Like all this is not done in the platform in a way that it is done here on YouTube, for example. That's why I'd rather have a smaller audience. Like this show has, like, I mean, I don't promote it too, but I'd rather grow a show here with more or less 300 people that are passionate, that know what we are talking about, rather than have even if sometimes I go to IG and I will have 6,000 people, but when I look at the comments, sometimes it's like, yeah, there's gonna be like a few interesting comments, but like we could not have the conversation that we have. I mean, we could have them. It's up to us to decide what we do with our platforms.
Right.
But you know me, I've never been a followers. I like to do the next thing all the time, and a lot of people are following trends. Some people are doing very interesting things, like Body's quarantine grooves are amazing.
Yeah, they are. He's really good.
Quarantine radio I was like, yo, but it's like the game plan is
Or like
super
the
interesting.
the festival on the sofa, that was brilliant.
Yeah,
That was brilliant.
the Veerzuz, the
Veerzuz.
like that was an amazing idea, and a lot of positive and interesting creative things have been the outcome of this crisis that the world is going through. And let's see what's next.
Let's see what's next. I know one thing's for sure. You're going to be there. And I'll be there too, because me and you are both the type of people that when things get rough, we start thinking, we start brainstorming and figuring out, I'm an idea person.
Yeah.
You're a tech person. You're an idea person. We're always kind of like, okay, what's next? What's next? What's next?
True.
What's next?
True,
And I
true.
think being adaptable and being flexible is probably one of the best things that you can be in life, and definitely in this moment. So I'm with you all the
Indeed.
way in terms of, our positivity is crucial right now, is as easy as it could be to get down. And that's not to say that you might have days that you feel frustrated and angry and confused, and, people are dying. This is a reality, especially
Indeed.
here. Portugal, I know it's not as bad, but here, I mean, I've lost 6 friends. So it's definitely, and I've a lot more people that are sick. So it's definitely a reality. However, there's always something to be happy about in life. And that's where your goal is remaining happy, because being sad is like a spiral. It just takes you all the way down. And so it's important to keep the faith and know that, a day might be a horrible day, but the whole day is not horrible. There's always something good that happens in every day. Amen. And likewise, you could have a great day and something horrible could happen. It's all about that balance and sort of staying neutral and remaining in your sovereign space of your own self, that you have the will and the desire to keep going no matter what. That's the name of the game. It's survival of the fittest, baby. That's what we're here for.
Mobb Deep versus
Mobb Deep versus Smith and Wesson. Come on.
Anyway, Mars, it's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you for having me.
I'm not gonna mix today. I've like, with these live shows, I haven't been on watching Netflix for a long time. I think I'm gonna just go watch some Netflix today. I deserve that. No mixing tonight. Back to work tomorrow. Good. It was great talking to you and catching up. We still have to talk, but on the phone, about other things that I want to know.
That's not for the public.
Yeah. We have to talk about.
I love you so much.
Love you so much. And everybody go follow Marcy on her socials. She's Marcy Depina everywhere: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You don't have a YouTube channel, and of course, go check her
No,
show.
I do have YouTube.
Oh,
I
see,
do have
she has
YouTube.
YouTube, and what about your show, Forza? Do you still having the show from home or?
Yeah, I'm still having the show every Tuesday from 6 to 8. I've been broadcasting using the radio station Nork.fm, but I've also been on Facebook Live and Instagram Live, and everything gets housed on Mixcloud. So
Nice.
mixcloud.com/Marcy Depina.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
AJ,
Thank you.
talk to you soon. I'll call you tomorrow morning.
Okay. Sounds good.
And I will see you guys too in the next one.
Thanks, everybody. Bonne nuit. Bonne nuit.
Bonne
Ciao.
nuit.
Good night.